overseas while the pipes here rusting. Kids in the hood grow up not trusting. Nothing to see when the files go missing. Cameras off when the cuffs start twisting. They call you crazy just for asking.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's
Welcome back to the Abby Effect, my not so big yet not so small podcast, because I do have 220 of you guys here. So thank you for
That's dope.
subscribing. Today we got a special guest, guys. We
What's
got
up, you
Scotty the
guys?
Kid.
What's
Scotty the
good?
Kid, one of the best. Hold on, I gotta rep the shirt real quick. Scotty
Thank you. Let's go, Truth Seeker. Oh, you have a dog right
Scotty's.
there?
I
What?
do. He's very needy.
Cutie. That's dope.
So Scotty's one of the truth seekers online that I resonated the most with. So we talk a lot online and we discuss. I got his book, but if you want to do a quick intro on what you do, who you
Yeah,
are.
so so skater, activist, DJ, just street artist. Honestly, I would just say like street artist, because like I've done like literally street art, and then I
Damn,
grew
I
up
didn't know
in
you DJ
Hollywood.
though. That's dope.
Yeah, I grew up in Hollywood. So, and you know, people kind of go both they're like, wait, you grew up in Hollywood? So like, you know, some people have been like, bro, are you like one of them? I'm like, bro, I wouldn't be working like 50 hours a week at a blue collar job if I was one of them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, but
I mean, it
just
is a fair thing
basically,
to say, because everybody does believe that. Because I'll be like, everybody in
right,
Hollywood
right.
is trash.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, like I grew up in Hollywood. Like before I was awake, I was just skating and at these parties and DJing and skate like the Thrasher events and just different parties and stuff. And as I got older, like I started to kind of get like a little peek behind the curtain when I like became like deeper into like Hollywood people. And
Yeah.
I just was like, I didn't know anything. And I haven't seen like I've seen some things, but I haven't seen anything on front that's like directly in my face, because obviously I wouldn't be standing for that, but just like realizing that there is like an elitist situation, and like, you know, they test the waters and kind of like see how willing you are to kind of like, you know, do this and see that, like, you know, I like before I was ever awake, I was even friends with this dude that was like, you know, super ballin', had Rolls Royces. Like he
Damn.
was like, man, he would like pay for my studio time. Like cool dude. Like I didn't, you know,
Okay, are
and
you guys still friends?
no, we're not. No, we're not. So come to find out, you know, he was a Freemason, and I didn't know what Freemasons were at the time. So you know, I saw like his Freemasonic stuff like around his house and stuff. I didn't know anything, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh, and then one of our mutual friends was like, hey bro, like, have you ever looked in like the center like council of his rolls? And I'm like, nah. He's like, bro, look in the middle of the clock. And I was like, all right, like that's weird. And my friend was like, that introduced us, kind of was like, I don't really like trust that dude. And I was like, why? Like that's weird. He's never done anything weird to me or said anything weird. He's just cool and supports my music and, you know, skating and stuff and my brand. And one day, like I was like, all right, like he got out of the car, and I like looked in the middle of like the clock, and there was a camera. There's a little lens in the middle of the clock. And I was like, he's like, bro, like that's the way they work. They blackmail people. That's what Freemasons, that's what all these people do. They blackmail each other, and then they make you do stuff you don't want to do later because they pull out the camera or the footage or whatever. I was like, dude, what? Like, what is going on? I haven't done anything wrong anyways. I was just
Which we've seen.
smoking at the
I was
time
gonna
or whatever,
say.
you know? I was like, whatever, bro, weed's legal. Like, I'm 22. Like, I don't care, you know, like, whatever. But, you know, and then I just was like, that's kind of weird. So that was kind of like a little red pill for me, because I was like, that's weird. And so my boy was like, yeah, bro, just be careful what you say and like what you do. And that friend that I'm talking about, the mutual friend, he's been awake forever, like forever. Like he's awake. So he could tell that I wasn't even there, and he had to slowly wake me up. And as time went by, he would plant little things like, yo, did you know this? Did you know that? Have you heard of this? You heard of that? And then I started to like slowly wake up, and this is like in 2014, you know, and I was like, no, that's crazy, bro. So just like a little bit breadcrumbs. And then obviously, like when I found out like about the trafficking, and when I understood that there's like a turnkey human trafficking operation going on in the country, and every 3-letter agency is controlled, and how the NSA, the NSA, when I realized the NSA was wiping information, like I would look something up online. It's like 800,000 kids go missing every year in America. I have a screenshot from like 2019, 2018 when it said that. And then like you know, when it started to get big and the conversation started to come on, I went and looked it up again online, and it was like, this is Snopes says that this is not true. And I'm like, but you guys just posted this on Google like a year ago. I could look this up and it said it. So I was like, wait, how did it say it? And now it's saying it's not true. I was like, yo, my boy's like, yo, the NSA is scrubbing. They're scrubbing. Like they have professional scrubbers that go through and find information that would wake people up, and they just say, hey, that's false. I mean, I was banned for so long off Instagram from getting no reach, you know, with just these, what are they called? What are they called? Those people, the
Like the
censors, the
fact
people,
checkers, the
fact
fact
checkers,
checkers
like
back in the
this
day.
is fact check, this is fact check to
Yeah.
be false, and this and that. And so, you know, I would say that my following in LA and like growing up here was like, oh, that's the skater DJ kid, like he's cool with everybody, like, you know, whatever. I had celebrity friends here and there. None of my celebrity friends were into anything weird, so I didn't think anything, you know. And
That you knew
so
of, right?
that I knew of, exactly. So that's the point. Like you can get around big people and be around them and be friends with them, and they still aren't going to show you like the real thing, because they have to test you. They have to see how willing you are to be cool with certain things. And you know, for me, I'm very blunt. Like I'm very much like people can't push me around or make me do something I don't want to do. So I felt like even in some cases they were like, yo man, like Scotty's cool, but like I don't think we can like even if they wanted to bring me into some stuff, they're like, yo, Scotty's not gonna listen, like he's gonna do what he wants to do. And like I had a, even though I was like not as like a big follower of Christ at the time, my moral compass was still like, you know, I don't know about that. Like, or there are situations where I was like, I don't really want to go there, I don't want to do that, like, you know. And who knows if I was avoiding something that I later, you know, who knows. I
Discernment.
mean, that's just, yeah,
Also,
it's
imagine the Scotties out there that, sadly, because I believe that they exist, but imagine the Scotties out there that were blackmailed because they didn't know. They, you know, some, let's say weed was illegal and they did a
right,
line of coke or something and they got you on camera,
right,
and
right,
now they're
right,
forced
right.
into this lifestyle. Which, going back to the NSA, shout out to Edward Snowden. For a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah,
Edward
yeah.
Snowden is like
He's
a
the
domestic
realist,
threat.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no,
Yeah.
keep going. I like
He's in
where you're
Russia,
going with that.
right? He's in Russia still, like,
Last
or
time I
did they
checked, but it was
get
a
him?
couple years ago. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
domestic
So
threat
he's,
because he
yeah.
basically blew the whistle on the NSA saying they're spying on us, like our
Like
TVs, our phones,
WikiLeaks
everything.
and all that. Yeah, and it's just
Julian
like,
Assange was WikiLeaks. Yeah,
oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
He's in
you
Russia,
know,
or he was.
right, right, right. So I just so I would say like it started with like I worked for Viacom. So I worked for like Nickelodeon, Disney. Like I worked in film production for a long time. Just like as a set designer, set dresser, you know, shadowing line producers, shadow runner, showrunners, like all that. And so I did that for a long time in Hollywood. And again, like I didn't see or hear anything weird, but none of this is going to be on front. Even in the productions, they're not going to be on front. It's going to be all subliminal. Like the DP will know, like, okay, we're going to plant this in the background, but we're not going to tell anybody or make it obvious or whatever. So
Wild,
you're not
right?
even, you could be in there working on a project and not even understand what the agenda is behind that or how they're going to edit it later. So, you know, I worked in film and I had friends in the industry and this and that, and it's very liberal out in LA. So I just was like, whatever, I didn't know anything. And as I started to wake up, I was like, yo, there is like so much shady stuff going on. I'm like in Hollywood, like in the messaging, the subliminals, the predictive programming, like all of this. I'm
If you don't
like,
mind me
dang.
asking, how old were you at that time? You said it was 2013, 2014 when you were like, this shit is
So
crazy.
I was like 23, 24.
Dang.
Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm
This could have broke
36
your
now.
mind. Like,
Yeah, straight up, straight up. Yeah. And I mean, so at the time, like I would say that it was like 2019 when I started to really like wake up like really hard. Like I was like seeing like Follow the Cabal, like all these things.
mm-hmm.
People are sending me
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm just like, dang, I'm like, yo, there's too much proof here. Like this is real. And so obviously that turned into being like, oh, you're labeled a conspiracy theorist. By the way, people don't know conspiracy theorist is a term that was coined by the CIA in 1970s. Yeah. So like they created a term to discredit people that were actually trying to discover the real truths. So, you know, so that happened, and when I realized things were crazy, I started to just post about it. I had like 30,000 followers at the time. overnight it went down to like 15, 13,000. Like I lost half of my following because all
Damn,
my friends in LA were like, bro, you're crazy, bro. Like you're on one.
you're
Like, what are you
cooked.
even talking about? Eating kids, like this and that. Like you're tripping, bro. Like what's wrong with you? And I was like, man, you don't even know. Like here's the information. Here's what I saw. Here's what I found. And they were like, nah, bro, that's just like so outside of the realm of possibility that like you're just tripping, bro. Like I don't even know what to think. So I lost a lot of friends, family members, all that. But it was funny because I was like, no, I'm sticking to my guns. Like I did the protest. Like I was like, we need to talk about this. We need to out this stuff. And like over the next couple of years, my following got so big, and I was like, dude, who cares about these little 5 or 10 friends that dumped me that I was friends with for a few years? Like, who cares? Now there's an entire
Right,
community of people that know the truth, and I just need to communicate with them, and we just need to spread the word. Like, and then that just started turning into more things. Like I've been shadow banned so hard they removed like 4 or 5 thousand followers in the last 2 months from my page. Like one of my good friends who runs a huge page, shout out to Jerry Science, he's cool, he posts all kinds of stuff. He's like,
right,
bro, I would check the other day and it showed that I wasn't following you. And I was like, yeah, bro, I know they're removing hella followers, but then I'm like getting new followers, so I'm like trying to combat it. But at this point, I don't really care about follower numbers. I don't care about likes. I appreciate them, but I don't
right.
measure any form of success. Like my page is like a community page. That's what I tell me. I'm like, I'm just the vehicle of information. I'm just trying to get the tires rolling. I'm just trying to get it going. And then from there, God's gonna take the wheel. Jesus is gonna take the wheel, and it's gonna head where it's supposed to head. When it is, where it is, how it is, like it's just, so people are like, oh, can you post this, or like I made this flyer or this. I'm like, dude, if it's gonna help the collective, like 100%. Like using my page, like if you want to, you can
Mhm.
go back and I'll explain to
Yep,
people
yep.
like how in 2020 I did it. So basically when you scroll down, you'll see that the red handprints on different cities. So keep going actually. That one's cool.
Yep.
That's actually my boy's giving a 25% off discount to anybody that goes to the march in Las Vegas. He's a sick tattoo artist and he's like, "Bro, I want to do
Oh,
this."
guys, that's what's up, guys. Pay attention to this
Yeah.
right here. This is where he's at.
Yeah. Yep. He's in Vegas. So right here, show proof of it, attendance. You can book a tattoo with him. He'll give you 25% off. Shout out to
That's
DCR
sick.
Collective.
Shout
Yeah.
out
So
to
like,
DCR Collect. That's dope.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And
That's
he
cool.
hit me up with that idea. He's like, I got an idea. I was like, let's do it. So you can see where the red handprints are. Basically, my page becomes
Wow.
my page becomes a forum. So if somebody's like,
Wow.
oh, I'm in Indianapolis, then the people in Indiana send that to their other friends, and then people will tag each other in the comments, and then they'll go and they'll follow the person that's tagged as the leader, and then they communicate directly with the leader, and they
That's
mobilize.
awesome.
Yeah, so I don't have to like communicate, hey, I'm not from Boise, I'm not from Orem. I don't know
Right,
where
right.
is the best place to do it. So people reach out to me and say, hey, I want to head up my city. How do I do it? I'm like, here's a syllabus, how to do it correctly. Don't break any laws, don't burn anything down. Like we're just taking a stand for children. There are children that attend. There's going to be a lot of children that go because the parents are like, let's go. It's a family thing. Like there's no political affiliation on wanting to stand up for children and spreading the word, so basically people have hit my page, and at one point there was like when I did the
Wow.
2020 marches, there was like hundreds of comments of people tagging each other and their friends, and they're communicating, and then the leaders like, yo, they DM me like, hey man, I'm getting like 30-40 messages from people. I was like, awesome. So basically I tell each person in their city, you figure out a place to do it, make it about a 2-hour thing. Maybe if you start at a park, march around the park for 30 minutes, start at the same place, end at the same place, so people can see what the audience looks like spread out, because then it kind of makes you think like, dang, like that's a lot of people, and it like subconsciously plants this thing in your mind like, wow, like there's way more of us than we know, right? And so then I say, okay, you're in charge of creating a flyer. You post the flyer, you tag me, you collaborate with me, I'll share it, and we just keep that momentum going. That way I'm not trying to look up directions of what streets and what, like I don't know that, so I need someone
Right.
local to do that. And so that's basically why I started doing it in this way, and to use the
And
page as,
you're emailing people the info?
so people can direct message me. Like click the one that says sex trafficking mission.
My
Go up a
bad.
little bit actually. No, you're good. The one in the middle, down
This one? Oh wait, hold on.
down to that one, down that one.
Oh
So
shit, my
this one
bad.
I posted the
This
other
one?
day, like yeah,
Okay.
so this one has like I think 12,000 12,800 likes. So this thing got shared by like a bunch of people, and it's funny because this is the exact same image that I started to use, that I used first in 2020, that sparked it. This is the same exact image.
Wow.
I went through my photos from 2020 and I was like, there's the one that started it. I'm gonna post it again. And so now, like, I just been
Wow.
getting people, yeah. And I mean, the thing is that, it's just like I said, like if there was, if there's anything that's going to unite us as a country, we are the United States. Let's not forget that. And if there's
Hmm.
anything that's going to unite us, it's going to be preserving the innocence of our children, because people don't understand, like, these white men who are like elitists or whatever, they'll happily take a little black kid or a little Muslim kid or a little Arab kid or a little Jewish kid or a little Asian kid. Like,
Doesn't matter. Yep.
they don't care. So like, if they don't care, like, even if the guy's a racist in his real life, it's the irony is that they don't care. Like, they just want to steal the innocence. And people say, well, how do you even get there? Like, as a person, I'm like, look, there's only 3,000 billionaires in the whole world. So like, all we got to do is show up and show out to be like, hey, like, there's 3,000 of you, bro. Like, you can try every trick, but when the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians and the
Unite. Yeah.
blacks and the whites and the Asians and everybody puts their sword away, the left and the right, and there is no, oh, you're on the left, you're on the right. Like, that is so elementary, bro. Like, I don't know what people don't understand, how elementary that is. That is like low IQ manipulation. Like, it really is like, oh, well, there's an independent party. No, there's not. At the end of the day, it always comes down to Democratic versus Republic, the illusion of choice. When you go to the store and you buy Dove soap and you buy this other brand of soap and you're comparing prices and the ingredients and what's in it, when you look on the back, it says owned by Procter and Gamble. The
Yep.
same company owns both of the soaps. It's the
Yep.
illusion of choice. You think you're getting one that's better than the other, one that's cheaper than the other. The money goes to the same person. In an analogy wise, it's this exact same thing. Dude, we're not going to vote our way out of this. It doesn't work like that. Like, and if you haven't woken up to that and you don't understand, like, okay, some people on the left, oh, trans people should be playing sports, men dressed as girls. Look, even though we're not going to agree on that, we're not talking about that right now. What we're
Right.
talking about is that kids are being abused at an unbelievable level. And now everybody knows. In 2020, it was a huge secret. People thought we were crazy. 4 or
Crazy.
5,000 people still came.
Right.
Thousands of people still came. So now the cat's out the bag. The list is officially out. This is like not a secret, not a conspiracy. It's all true. And at this point, it's just like, now's the time. Like, now's the time. And people, say, oh, we got to like really get aggressive. We got to, first of all, it has to start with the first domino. The first domino has to fall. And us
You're
getting
right.
together peacefully, because they're going to say, all right, we'll see. Let's see if they can get together without fighting each other. Right? Because you can't make all these grand plans. Oh, we're going to do this. This should happen. That should happen. Nuremberg 3.0. These things need to happen. No. The number one thing that needs to happen first is they need to see if we can even get together first without fighting each other.
I think, and to your point, I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I see. This should be like, if you want to stick to party lines, because I know that people are they're very stuck to their ways. Anytime I post a video of me, I supported Trump in 2020 and I supported him in 2024, and now I'm pissed about it.
Right.
People,
Right.
I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, which I
Right,
appreciate
right.
everybody's comments and all that stuff. This should be the only issue, that it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
side you align yourself with. What if you still believe, because I don't, but if you still believe in the democracy and government that we have in this country, that's on you. I respect it. However, this is not that. This is literal
Exactly.
good versus evil.
Yeah, and this is so much greater than that. It's so much
Oh,
bigger
so
than a
much bigger.
political party. I'm like, dude, like, when you look into the files, when you actually see that, like, how evil this is, like, when the like evil has shown its face, like when a little girl says that she feels, she's laying in bed with Epstein, saying that Jesus makes her feel safe and that he's with her, then he dresses up like Jesus and performs his act on her and then deletes her. It's like, there is literally nothing more evil on the face of the planet than hurting a child. There just isn't. There is nothing you can tell me. There is nothing more evil than a grown human being hurting a child. Like that.
Agreed.
That's it.
I think one of the things that people also, because a lot of people, they like to bring, or they like to negate the fact that this is has to do, when I say good versus evil, it's also spiritual warfare, right? So when you harm a child, the way I grew up in religion, I grew up very Pentecostal, very like long skirts. I don't know if California has any
Yeah, yeah,
Pentecostal,
yeah,
but I wore long skirts. I was like
yeah,
16
yeah.
years old, didn't have, pierce my ears, all that stuff. But
Mhm.
that is the biggest, I don't want to say, I guess disrespect would be the word, but when you hurt a child in God's eyes, that's the biggest, like, that's the biggest thing that will hurt
Yeah,
Christ, is
yeah,
hurting the child. And when you read, everybody knew about Pizzagate. Everybody thought we were crazy. This is all fake.
right.
They're literally sacrificing children.
Right, right. Yeah, and this
This
is
is
like
literal
this goes
spiritual
back
warfare.
yeah, and it
Oh
goes
yeah.
back thousands of years. Like that's the thing. We have like some like we're what I call mass hypnosis. We're in a state of mass hypnosis because, the money system. We used to live on a barter system. Oh, I have these sheep, you have those chickens, I have this fruit, you have those veggies. Let's trade over the fence. We don't need anybody else. That we can live forever that way. Oh, I'm a blacksmith. Oh, I'm a welder. Oh, okay, cool. I'll build this for you. I'll trade you this. I'll trade like now when the money system comes in and then the consumerism of like selling us things we don't need. It's called ideological subversion, which is generational manipulation. They've been able to manipulate our great grandparents, right? They grind them down a little, and then our grandparents are born. They grind them down into the system a little. Then our grandparents grind down the system. Then they have our parents, and then they're ground down. And then we're here, and then they go, okay, we've grinded them down enough. Let's do COVID. Let's see
Oh
how
God, yes.
let's flip the switch. Let's see how well the generational manipulation has worked
How
up to this
complicit.
point. And
Yes. We're
this
complacent
whole
about it.
time in the
Yeah.
back, they've been buying, selling kids this entire time,
This whole time.
literally. Yeah. So then they created a monetary system with the money system, right? The private reserve is an actual private entity. The IRS is an English owned company. It's not even an American owned company. A lot of people don't know that. But it's like then they
I
create
believe that the Federal Reserve is an entity of the government because it's called the
yeah,
Federal Reserve.
right, exactly. But it's a private corporation, it's a private company. So, and companies make money. So, how is printing money going to make you money? So, it's not like a nonprofit where it's give and take. There has to be, and that's usury. That's where we get into the conversation of, okay, so who actually is these people? What is their system to make this money? Oh, we'll give you this with a 30%, 30% APR so you can never get out from underneath
Yeah.
the debt. There's a reason that a group of people have been kicked out of 80 countries. It's not an
Yeah.
accident. It's not a coincidence.
I
So
thought it was
it's like,
109 countries.
oh, is it
Maybe, I don't know.
109? No, no, it is over 100. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I
It
think
is
it's 109.
109. No, it is 109. You're right. You're right. So, there's a reason for all of this. And so it's kind of like, you know, it's now or never, dude, because not only so the children are the tip of the iceberg, because if we can band together for the kids, that means we can band together for digital ID. That means we
For
can band
anything.
together for anything. Like, and then,
Yeah.
there's a conversation. Someone asked me, well, what happens if it actually did all go down? What system would we depend on at that point? And I'm like, it's the fear of the unknown. People go, well, I feel it's this invisible facade of safety. It's not real, bro. Like, it's not like
Uh,
your safety is your slavery. You feel safe as a slave? Not me. I'd rather bust off the chain and see what's out there. You know what I mean?
right.
And we have to like unlatch each other's chains. We have like one person like us going to the march. That's all of us being like, we're off the chain now. Okay. Now we're trying to say, okay, here's the
That's
key.
actually
Do
a
you
really
want,
good. That's a really good way to put it, actually.
yeah, we're
Never
like,
thought about it like that.
we're asking the other slaves, do you want me to let you off the chain too? And some of them go, no, keep the chains on. I don't know what it's like off the chain. Like they have this, in Africa, there's this these gigantic elephant, like, what are they called? Like these natural places, like basically where all of these groups of people store these giant elephants, and they have thin little pieces of rope around their legs. This guy came and was like, bro, they could snap that off the tree and run away. Why don't they run away? And they say, because we've had that same exact string around their legs since they were babies.
Wow.
So when they were babies, they knew they couldn't get off of it. So they just got used to it. So we never needed to put a big chain on them because they're not going to go anywhere. And that's essentially where we're at.
That's
We've been
sick.
conditioned our whole lives to have this little thin thread around our arms, and all we got to do is break out of it. But we're so conditioned to think that we're not able to, that we don't even try, you know?
That's sick, because if the elephant, aka us, right,
Yeah.
knew its strength, its own strength,
It would
it
destroy the
will.
village. It could destroy the village, and it could eat for free. It could live for free. It wouldn't need to live or need anybody for anything. So, like that's just where we're at. So it's like, the trick that's happened recently. So same thing. I supported Trump until, oh, that's a hoax. So, when you call,
Oh,
so even like my friends, like I have friends that are actually like, they've been to the White House. They're friends with Trump. We follow each other. They still follow me. I'm surprised they still follow me because of what I'm saying. But I literally was like, I thought it was a hoax, because now they're posting, oh, the Epstein list. I said, but that was a hoax. So like, if you're gonna if
right.
you're gonna believe him up to that point, but now you're like, oh, check out this person's on the list. It's like, wait, I thought the list wasn't real to begin with. So how can you even post about the list or the files and still support this man? Like, and the bottom line is that nobody gets a voice. Nobody makes $1 billion without knowing some stuff. Like
Agreed.
it just doesn't happen, you know?
And for me, it was not only did he call it a hoax, but he also said anybody who is, when he turned his back on Marjorie Taylor Greene and he's on this
Hmm.
rampage against Massey, but
Yeah.
when he said, if you're still asking about the Epstein files and you support me, then I don't need you as a supporter. That was a smack in the
Right.
face, because we got
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
of
heat for
course.
supporting him.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we held it down. But I mean, at the same time, that's great. This is great. This is all good,
This
because
movie,
it
man.
really is not like the veil is being completely lifted now. Like I still see people blindly following, oh, it's a military operation, blah, blah,
Oh
blah, this and
gosh.
that. And I'm like, dude, no, it's literally like, I can't even help you anymore. Like he said it was a hoax, and obviously now it's not. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. And now you
Hold
know
it.
it, but you still say, well, that's part of the plan. If getting lied to is part of anybody's plan, I don't want to be involved in that plan.
Agreed.
Transparency is the only is key here. So well, like, for him to call it a hoax and all that, here's the thing. They try to pigeonhole us. Oh, you either are against ICE, right? And that means that you support illegal immigrants coming into the country
Right.
and raping and trafficking kids. Oh, okay. Okay. So, oh wait, never mind. I support ICE. Oh, well, that's a totalitarian group that's overstepping onto American citizens, including immigrants. Once again, the illusion of choice. Which side do you pick? This side or this side? What ICE is actually doing and what they're trying to do is to get the conservatives that still follow MAGA and Trump to agree with ICE. So when ICE starts putting up these new surveillance systems around the country, it's for your safety. When's the last
We're
time
gonna
we heard that we
comply.
should do
Everybody's gonna
something for our
comply.
safety? Yeah, exactly. But ultimately it's to usher in Agenda 2030, which is the 15-minute cities, which is smart cities. That's why everything needs to be electric. That's why everything needs to be smart. The fridge, the microwave, the TVs, the phones, so that way it's all synced up on one one unit onto one like band, so whoever's pulling the strings that can
That's
control can
easily
say,
plugged off that when they
yeah,
wanted to.
oh, you didn't, you went to the park 3 times this week, you went on a day it wasn't your turn, we're gonna shut your fridge off for the day, sorry, your food's gonna go bad. It is what it is. You should have followed the rules. It wasn't your turn. And then, okay, I guess now I have to stay inside.
The
Like,
sad part about that is that while people do their research, own due diligence, which I tell everybody that watches my videos, do your own research. Don't listen to me.
yeah, don't believe me. For the
I'm just a
record, don't
regular
believe
ass
me.
girl that works 2
Yeah,
jobs in my spare bedroom. I do a little podcast. Do your own
literally,
research.
yeah.
But the sad part about it is that if you look at Pizzagate and you look at the Epstein files, it took literally 10 years for people to be like, oh, it wasn't a lie. So the conversations, I can't wait for you and I to have a conversation in 2036. So be like,
Right,
remember we talked about this?
right.
Because some people, they're just so afraid. And a lot of people that I know, especially a lot of my colleagues, they rather not know. They rather just not know the information.
Of course, yeah.
They're like,
Because the
Martinez,
ignorance is
you're crazy,
bliss.
you're this. And they rather not know because it's safer to not know. What's the
Right, of
saying? It's like
course.
when I don't even know what the saying is,
Ignorance
but
is
it's sad.
bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
sad because people rather not know it. I don't want to be part of that generation.
Yeah, and on top of it, you cannot know, but guess who it falls on? Your kids. Okay. Now your kids live in a world where they're more likely to get trafficked. Is that cool with you?
Right.
You're down with your children living in a surveillance state because it's so selfish of them because they're like, oh, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, okay, well, do you have nieces, nephews? Do your friends have kids? Because it's the next generation. It's gonna fall on them.
I've had this conversation with many people because what I've learned throughout my journey from being vote blue no matter who to voting for Trump twice, regrettably, my journey to being it was about 2019 for me as well. Talking to people, I've learned that I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
No,
had
it's
my brain
okay.
is it's on a
No,
thousand
no,
right now.
no. No, I bet because it's just like there's so much
You,
information
yeah,
to
you could
take
say
in.
it'll come back
But
to me like 30
yeah,
seconds. But go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. But no, I mean, ultimately, this is all to push towards Agenda 2030. And right now is that little, think about how fast high school went. That was 4 years.
Oh my God.
We have four
Yes.
years till we're there. So like, this is freshman year, dude. You better get with it because senior year is going to be right around the corner. And that we're either going to graduate into this 2030, like dystopian reality. I mean, we're already eating kids at McDonald's. Like it's
Right.
already,
Before I forget, because you were talking about nieces and
go
nephews,
ahead.
this was the point that I was going to say is that what I've learned with a lot of people is that things don't bother them or they don't want to make anything a big deal until it directly affects them.
Of
So
course.
when you
Until
say,
they're
don't you
like
have,
their
I've
niece.
had the
Yeah.
same conversation. Don't you have nieces and nephews? Yeah. Yeah, but they've never been trafficked. I'm like, but that doesn't mean that it's, how can you say that? And I guess
Yeah.
my question for you is, how did we get to that point that we don't fight for something unless it directly affects us?
Oh,
I'm not
like,
saying I'm
yeah.
like that. I'm not saying you're like that, but some people,
No.
a lot of the society is like, yeah, no, that'll never happen to me.
Well, unfortunately, those are the same people that were like, I can't come over to your house if you're not jabbed. They believe in the
Oh my
system
God,
so
remember that?
much. Yeah, they believe in the system so much that it's unbelievable that some family members and friends were literally willing to write off lifelong relationships with you if you weren't jabbed. And it's just
Still
like,
happening, yeah.
yeah, it's still happening. And so it's like those people, it's the same people that believe in this falsehood of this fake umbrella of safety, the safety net that's not even real, that it's like fall in line and it will work out. Fall in line and everything will be okay. And it's like those are the same people that, God forbid, one day would be willing to take up arms against us. It's because they're like, this fall, you're not falling in line, but they're making me, so now so you need to. And it's just like there's some people will die on that hill,
Yeah.
and think about it, and not just figuratively but literally, like how many people have died from the vax,
Yeah, you're right.
like millions of people at this point.
Or
So it's
vaccine
like,
injured life. Yeah.
yeah, vaccine injured, whatever, like they literally are going to die on that hill. And it's like, okay, those are also, you can't inspire people, you can't make people great. They either have something inside of them that is like speaking to them. Like the worst thing you can do is send me to my creator, God
Right.
forbid. But I'm not like this human experience, like I'm
All
so
why not
much,
all while not understanding it's the best thing that could happen for you.
literally,
Like,
yeah, literally, the only thing is I'm like, okay, I want my kids to be strong enough to protect themselves. But once
yeah.
they can protect themselves, once they can fight for themselves, then so be it. It is what it is. And I want to live a very long time. And but this, like, if you came here and did nothing with your life, like, it's not a matter of being famous. I don't want to be famous, bro. I don't like, I just want to have a decent life, like, but it's
Yeah.
just like, if you're gonna just like come here, conform, and be a nobody, and being a nobody means, like, someone the other day was like, DM me and left me a voice note. He's like, well, I'm just a nobody following you. I was like, bro, everybody's a somebody. Like, don't even say that, bro, because you are awake. Therefore, you are somebody. You can inspire people. Like, we're all the black sheep of our family. I told the guy that said, I said, I
Absolutely.
don't even know you, and I guarantee you're the black sheep of your family. He's
One
like, oh
thousand
yeah,
percent.
they think I'm crazy. And I was like, that's great. That's a good
Yeah.
thing, because somebody needs to wake up their family. Because if it's not
Yeah.
you, then who is it? And that's where I'm at with these marches. Is people say, I have even my actual family members, they're like, yo, we're kind of scared for you, like, we're your safety and this and that. And I was like, if it ain't me, then who's gonna do it?
Mm.
And maybe there will be, but are they going to have the perspective? Are they going to have the understanding? Are they going to know how to talk to the police when they're there? Are they going to understand how to, like, prime example, at the march in 2020, there was this girl there. We're marching around. By the way, these marches these are the cream of the crop of society. These are the best
Mm.
people in society because they care about innocence. So
Yeah.
therefore, when you show up at a march in whatever city you're in, the community is like not nothing you've experienced before. It's not like a music festival where people are doing drugs and partying. I love this song. I love this DJ taking Instagram photos to look cute for Insta. This is not that. This is people who show up and say, there's something wrong going on and I have a heart and that's why I'm here. And I need that community because I'm the crazy one in my family. So all the black
Right.
sheep get together because they have the heart. And you'll see when you go, at people, strangers are crying, strangers are hugging, strangers are
Wow.
holding hands, people are praying, people are singing. This is that. Like, this is the way it was in 2020. This is the way it is at any march that has to do with innocence, because these are people with the biggest hearts in our society. So this girl, she's there holding a sign, and she had a sign that said, like, man, there was another girl that had a sign that said survivor. That hit, was
Wow.
heavy on me. But this girl is holding a sign and it says honk if you know, it was a clever way of saying, but basically like honk if you did, don't agree with human trafficking, or to save a child, like kind of like, I don't remember word for
Mm-hmm.
word. And we're crossing the intersection, and I time it to be like, okay, you guys stop, let's finish crossing, let the traffic move. And people say, well, why don't we just hold up the street? Don't you want more eyeballs? There's more
Mm.
eyeballs if the traffic can move. Sorry. If the
Right.
traffic can move, more people will see. If you keep it clogged up, people will be like, "Oh, who's blocking up the street? They're fighting human trafficking." Yeah, but I got to go to work. That's not
Right.
good. You want them to drive by and honk and go, "Wow, that's awesome. I wish I would have known about that." So this girl's standing there in the red light holding a sign, and the person's honking like, "Yo, get out of the way." And she's like getting pretty emotional. She's like, "Honk, honk," right? She's getting heavy. And I roll up to her and I grab her, like not grab her, but I like put my
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
hand around her
Right.
arm. I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "What's going on?" And I turn and she looks at me and she's just crying. She's just like hard. Like, and I said, "Come here." I was like, "Come here." And she's like, "No, they're not honking." I said, "Come here and let's step aside real quick. Talk to me." And she's like wiping her tears and her head's down. I was like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "I was raped as a child." And I said, I hear you. I was like, but this is not how we go about this. And then three or
Mm.
four other women showed up. "Hey, what's going on?" Rubbing her back. "What's up?" And I said, "She's a survivor." And I said, "I understand that you're upset. I understand that you're frustrated, and we're here for you." And these other girls like started holding her, and we prayed together, and she's just
Wow.
like breaking down. And I said, "Trust me, we're here for you. We are literally doing this for you.
You just
You
gave me
have
chills.
support." Yeah, I was like, "You have the support. Look at everybody around you." I was like, "Look at all of us. We're here for you, like very specifically you." And I said, you have a support system now. You have these sisters next to you. You have me as a brother with you here. We support you. That anger, that frustration from your trauma, it's not going to go away overnight. It may never go away, but we are here to help you cope, and we're here for you. You don't need to do that. You don't need to send, because you're directing a form of hate. And I understand that you have hate built up inside of you after so many years of people not believing you, not listening to you, not caring. Yeah, 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 I hear you. And then walking away. No, we're here with you. I turn around like 10 minutes later, we're walking, and she's literally holding hands with like these other women, and they're like holding her up. And she's just like, I could sense the power. I was like, dang, that's power, bro. Like, there's so much power in this, because these people have been called liars. These people have been
I've been silenced.
ostracized and have been silenced. Other men have recognized the pain and manipulated them and used them. And
That's
and
a big
and
one.
just
Yeah.
it's a cycle that has just never stopped. And for her to come out, I was like, "Yo, we're happy you're here. Get her number." And the girl's like, "Give me your number right now. We'll go grab lunch tomorrow." Well, but I said, "See, like, you don't have to." And she's like, "Thank you, thank you." And I said, "Yeah, like, the only way we win is with light. You don't fight fire with fire. You know what I mean?"
Right.
And at some point, someone somewhere might believe they need to fight fire with fire, and that's up to their own individual choice.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's up to them. But for this moment in the street, for what's going on, I'm like, yo, we need to show people the love and humanity in you. Like, you have dark matter from trauma. That's evil that exists in you because evil was done to you. but you can be healed through the power of Jesus, and you can be
Amen.
healed by the power of community and other women who have been through this and are older than you that know exactly what you're going. They're here. Look around. Look around. And I was like, look around. I was like, we know that like half of what's happening to women and children is not even reported. So you got to double that.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, 800,000 kids go missing in America over here. It's probably closer to 1.6 because things don't get reported, especially
And
people
the
being
math
like, I
doesn't
don't
make
want to bring
sense. Yeah.
attention. I don't want to bring attention to me. It's embarrassing. I don't want to have to tell the story over and over and relive it. I've never been sexually abused. I feel for these people because I
Yeah.
cannot say,
Same.
"Oh, I know how you feel. I know how you feel." I can't
Right.
say that.
It wouldn't be fair. It would be,
I
yeah.
would never even try to do that. But
Yeah,
what I can
same.
tell you is there are women here and men here that do know what that feels like, and that's what we need to do. Is we're here for you, a sense of community, and people seeing how this collective gets together. They're going to say, "Whoa, like maybe I should think twice before like even a pedo. Oh wow, like um
Right.
I might not, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't, because now
Right.
we're eyes and ears are wide open. We know, like, coincidentally in 2020 when we marched in front of the CNN building. People stormed CNN. Later the cops were like, "Why'd you tell them to storm?" I said, "I didn't ever said to do that. Like, I did
Wow.
not tell anybody to storm there. Like, I would not do that." And I wouldn't, because that's just not the way you go about it. We stood outside of CNN and protested in the street and
Hell
said
yeah.
our piece, but
Yeah.
I didn't say enter public property. I didn't say that. So, but about 100 people ran in there and were like, wow, wow, going crazy with the signs. Nobody broke anything or anything, but they were there protesting. Come to find out, like 6 months later, a dude that was in that building on that day was convicted of trying to coerce one of his coworkers who worked at CNN's daughter,
Stop.
texting him pictures of himself to her, and he got caught.
Stop.
And yeah, and my boy was like, bro, how much you want to bet that dude was shaking in his office, like looking outside, like,
100%.
oh my god, you know. But that's the thing, is like they need to see how many of us there really are, but they're thinking there's no way all these groups of people, there's no way the Muslims and Christians are going to get together without fighting over their beliefs.
Right.
So when we do, and everything goes smooth and nobody's hurt, no one's no windows are broken, no things are burnt down, and they go, okay, so there was just like 500,000 people across the country that got together peacefully from all backgrounds and denominations. They're going to think, well, what if they want to do something else? Now we know that they actually can
Yeah.
get together without fighting, and that's where, you know, we would strike fear into them, and it's like, okay, let's put these people away now, because like this is let's actually, we have the proof, like maybe we will start to convict, like maybe we will convict. Like for me, it's death penalty, no questions asked, firing squad, no questions asked, public
Agreed.
execution, no questions asked. Like that's not even a debate by any
So
means,
I
you
wanted
know.
to pick your brain about that because earlier you said that, voting is not going to help the situation. Voting people out is not
Right.
going to help. And for most people that follow me know that my full-time job, I am a correction officer. So I literally go to jail every day. So that environment, I'm obviously exposed to the worst of the
Everything.
worst. I'm in a
Right.
liberal state, and in this particular liberal state, these predators, they don't get virtually their sentences are so minimal
Right.
that that's my biggest gripe with what I do
Right.
for work.
Right.
So I know that the voting process, it's all bullshit. We know that.
Yeah. Right.
Is there ever a way that these people are getting, like, people who sell drugs, which obviously it's illegal, but
Hmm.
people who sell drugs get more time than people who are hurting
Right.
kids?
Right.
How do we combat that? I see it every
So
day.
what it's going to come down to is it's probably just going to realistically, you know, in the, you know, in my book, there's just kind of like a way, there has to be, yeah, there has to be honest with you, it's just going to take somebody, it's just going to take a team from the inside. And, you know, that's basically the only thing I can say about that. You know,
Yeah,
I don't condone violence, for the record, in any way, shape, or
none of
form.
us do. None of
Yeah.
us.
But,
Our disclaimer for the pod.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But, you know, I
It's
hear
really
you
tough to
for
watch. It's really tough to
yeah,
watch
yeah. No,
when
I hear you. And you know, I it's funny. That's a chat we could have on Signal or Telegram, you know.
hell yeah.
But yeah, but
I guess
it's,
looking at
you
it
know,
as a lesser, more like
that's
less
the only
dramatic,
that's
voting
no that
people in maybe that are against, maybe given like I've seen people get 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and I'm
right.
like,
So
how is
if,
this real
you know,
life
we're wasting time and energy and resources on keeping people alive. If a dog gets put down for biting a child, then a human should be
all the
put down for
time?
raping one. It's just like very,
I
very
see that.
clear, very simple to see, a very simple solution. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see where the country moves in the next year after everything, because,
Yeah, I
you
feel like we're
know,
going through a
this,
big purge. Like,
yeah, and I've literally been waking up and feeling energetic shift, like myself, like not just like I've been waking up and I'm like I woke up like probably like 2 weeks ago, and I woke up and I was like, something's different now. Like
mm,
something, and that's just my discernment of like God giving me this vibe of like I feel like something that we don't even know is happening is underway at the moment. I don't know what that is. I don't know who it is. I don't know what. I really don't. But I just
yeah,
been waking up and I'm like, there is a shift amongst the consciousness, the collective consciousness of truth seekers, and it's happening. And that's why I was like, the march. And it was awesome because, you know, my one of my boys, Anthony, shout out to my boy Anthony, who's heading up the march in Austin.
shout out
He was
Anthony.
like, yeah, he said, bro, we talked the other day. He goes, you know how I know God's real, man? He's like, I mean, believe me, he's like, I'm a follower, but like, you want to know how I know? I was like, what's up? He was like, the day before you hit me up, I literally thought, man, it's time to do a march. We got to do something, bro. We got to step
Wow,
out. And he goes, and I thought, man, I should hit up Scotty the kid. And he goes, I kid you not. I woke up the next morning and you messaged me and we're like, bro, I'm throwing the march. Will you host?
wow.
And he was like, dude, I was like, get out of here. Like, I was like, what the, that's crazy. And I was like, that's how
Whether people
God
want to
works,
believe it,
bro.
and I truly believe we are all connected in one way or another,
Oh, every rabbit hole leads back to Christ. Like that's just
right?
really it. You get to the bottom of everyone. Like, you know, like I was not a follower of Christ like I am now. I grew up in church. I got away from God. I lived in the world. And then like as I started to become awake to stuff, when you realize the ultimate black pill is realizing, okay, if an evil like this exists on this level, there has to be a counterbalance. It's
I
just
just
the
did that
way
yesterday.
everything
Yes,
works. It's there's a positive to a negative. It's energy, and Christ is the energy. Like Christ is so much greater than just the term, oh, he's energy. Like no, it's so much bigger than that. But I'm just saying, like there is
yeah.
a, you know, neurons and neutrons and electrons. There's a good and bad,
Protons,
a
yeah,
dark
yeah.
and light.
Hmm.
It's just there has, so you there can't be this level of evil on this platform without there being a Christ and a holy presence that is just this much far into the light as how deep
Just as
this dark
powerful.
hole
Yeah,
goes. Yeah, and that's what needs, that's what will ultimately wake people up that don't believe it. Like, how is this? Oh my gosh, once they accept that the evil's happening, they're like, whoa, well, yeah, dude, that's the side you're siding with. If you're, there is no, you can't be on the fence about God. You're either on one
yeah.
side or the other. You can go, you can do this back and forth thing, but when the time comes, you, if you weren't fully in, then you're not fully
Hmm.
in. You might, if you're halfway on, you might as well be on the other side, you know.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
that's just the way it works. So like that's the thing, like they slipped up. Like there is no evil outside of man. The world operates in, the earth operates in perfect harmony without human beings. There is nothing evil outside of men, and with
That is correct.
men, mostly outside of
Wicked men,
men.
yeah.
There, yeah, so there's no evil outside of that, because so once you realize like, okay, there really is a spiritual warfare, we really are living in a parallel, a
What a time
paradigm
to be
of a,
alive. Yeah.
this is the most amazing time to be, it is like, this is the craziest part of the human experience. Like we're seeing the
Our
rise of
generation
AI,
has
or
seen some things,
yeah,
man. Like
and it's
from nine
coming
eleven
down.
to COVID, like the psyops coming at us between
Yeah,
9/11, COVID, Charlie Kirk. the
Yeah.
government. Like it's just like,
Operation Bluebeam is about to the UFO conversation now, huh?
oh
Wonder
my
why
god,
we're
yeah.
talking about that. Like, come on, bro.
The
Why,
fake, what is it? The fake
yeah.
invasion is on its way. Yes.
And then I mean, and then you want to get deeper. So like, even like there are levels to this truth because people are like, oh man, like, I'm like, look, the digestible trafficking is like maybe the most biggest truth that you can even handle because when we start talking about different entities occupying human bodies. Like when we talk
Mm,
about body snatcher stuff, when we talk about literally like other entities living through people on Earth, they're
demonic,
like
yeah.
that. Then people go, "Whoa, hold on a second. Like I could take this truth, but wait a minute, what are
You
you
gotta
telling
give
me?"
me
And I'm like. Yeah, I'm like, okay, bro, let's. So I tell people, I'm like, you got to look at the truth as like a skyscraper, right? There's like, let's say 100 floors to this truth stuff. I'm on like
mm,
the roof, bro. I know about the
yeah,
planets. I know the way they work. I know why the
yes.
things are the way they are. And people are like on the entering the building and they're like,
Second floor, third floor.
did you know about this? And I'm like, how do you think I got up here, bro? Like, of course I
Right.
know about that. But they're like waking up, but you have to be patient with them and like,
Your
oh,
analogies
okay.
are fire, by the way. Your analogies
Yeah.
are fire.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And then I just give them more crumbs and they start making their way up the stairwell, start going up, and then they get to a floor and they stay there because they're like, oh no, I don't know if I can even believe in this one. And it's like, it's okay, take your time. It took us like 12, we went through school for 12 years and had to learn these things. So we have to unlearn everything and then relearn all the new stuff. That's actually the truth. So,
Some of the I see you and I followed you for a while and like you said, you're the vessel and your page is a vessel to be used by Christ, right?
right.
It's essentially, I guess I should say literally, it's re-engineering everything that
It
we've been taught.
is. Right.
Everything we've
It's,
been taught, everything we've been
yeah,
told, everything we would ought to believe, it's just
yeah.
doesn't it's
So
not
I have
real.
a plug on Telegram called Unplugged, and even on my page, there's an Unplugged chat that I have in the bio of my page, and
Mhm.
it's essentially you got to look at it like everything you've ever learned is like a motherboard. In the old telephones where they connect the plugs.
Switches, yeah.
So essentially, your brain is like the big board, and you have to unplug every cord. You have to unplug every single cord
Wow.
out, right? And then you're like, okay, like, oh my God, everything I thought I knew is actually not true. So you unplug out, you pull every cord out, and then you're like, okay, where does this first cord go? And that's the beginning of truth. And you're like, clink, and then it registers, and then you're like, I don't even know if I believe that. And then you look into it more and you're like, okay, that's true. And then you're like, okay, so what about this cord? MK Ultra, plug it in. And you're like,
God,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I can even believe in that. Oh, like LSD being the beginning of MK Ultra. And then just connecting this. And then by the
Operation
time you know it,
Mockingbird, Operation,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. You're plugging in all this, you're aligning the motherboard with what actually is the truth. And it's all plugged in, and then you step back and you're like, oh my God. And it feels like that, but it's like I'd rather be on this side than the other side because what are you doing? I can't imagine how quickly I would get bored not knowing the truth. You're constantly looking for people that are not awake. They're constantly looking for things to entertain them. How much TV can you watch until it's boring?
Mhm.
How many things can you do and then for me it's like this is re-education of life, right? But like the truth. And it's like I'm so hungry for knowledge. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
want to learn everything. We couldn't even learn everything if we wanted, but I'm gonna try. And as I
Right.
learn, it's like it's my duty to share that information. Like, I would make a killer psychologist because I just understand how people work, but I would
Yeah.
never go to school. And that's another thing people say, oh, during COVID, the doctors know better. No, they don't. Those
No.
doctors conformed and they sat in a chair for 8 years. And if they asked a question that went against the status quo, the teacher would say, no, that's incorrect. Sit back down. You want this piece of paper on your wall, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, no, I want it. I want to say I'm a doctor. Okay, then shut up and stop asking questions. I'm going to tell you what it is. You listen and don't ask any. It's conformity. Like you conform.
It's with COVID, anytime you challenge anything, I remember at my job, we were all forced to wear masks. Like, why do I have to wear masks? And it was the whole
Yeah,
you know the rhetoric with that. But it's that getting that person to be compliant. And once you get the first person, then the next 10 and the next
yeah.
20, it was it's
It's
almost
mob
supreme.
mentality. It's mob mentality. It's mob
Literally, that's literally
mentality.
it.
Yeah, yeah. It's mob mentality. It's like, well, I have to do it. Why don't you? Like, oh, this, and it's just kind of like, you know what, at the end of the day, like I, even during COVID, like at my job and stuff, I was like, I'm sorry, like that goes against my religion. Like, you know, with my children, I'm like, oh, we don't do that. That goes against our religion. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, okay, but really? And I'm like, oh, are you like questioning my religion? Because aren't we in America? You're not, you can't ask me about my medical information or my religion. That's a non-negotiable. We're in the United States of America where I can practice whatever I want. I could make up a religion that I said is my own religion and you can't
And
even question me about it. So, you know, that's, and people were definitely like looking at me, and I even was like, you know, what the boss was like, well, I might need everyone to get it. And I said, well, then I'm cool. Then you're gonna have to fire me. You gonna fire me?
hmm
And he's like, and I had just had a kid, and I was like, it's okay, bro. You fire me over it? Because I said I'm not doing it. And he's like,
my heart broke for so many families that had to comply that didn't
yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's awful. Like I've lost a handful of friends, and one of them I had a falling out with because of it. And he was like,
Wow.
yeah, you're crazy, bro. You know, that's not right. It's to protect other people. He had a heart attack. He's 37. He had a heart attack and a blood
Oh,
clot. This is like 6 months ago.
stop.
And I was like, horrible. It was awful. I was like, damn,
That's so sad.
we didn't even make friends again. We didn't rekindle it. We just, you and I were not going to agree on it, and we didn't, and we never made peace, and he passed away, and it was awful. And I just remember going through the videos of like us. We lived in the same apartment building in Hollywood for a while, and for a year or two, he used to just come stop by. Hey, what's up, bro? Let's hang out. Oh yeah, we're gonna go swim. You want to come swim? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like we used to hang out a lot. And you know, he got married and his wife was pretty liberal, and it was like it turned into this whole, you know how it was like definitely a line in the sand. Oh, you don't want to get it, you don't care about people. I was like, bro, you
Mm.
don't even got to be around me, bro. None of y'all got to be around me. I'll stay in my house all day with my family and that's it. I don't need anybody. I don't need to go into the world and do all these extra things. I don't care, bro. Like I'm not doing it.
The psyops that they've brought up to our generation is like it's so I remember, do you remember where like nurses it bothers me so much, but when the nurses had like the dancing videos with the mask and they were so happy and they were so this and they were so that, and then when they didn't want to get the jab because they knew that they shouldn't, they became like
Yeah,
enemy of the state. They
yeah,
became like
literally. Or the
the people
crazy
that
thing
were
is that those are empty hospitals. And they said they were full, but they were empty. Otherwise, they
you
wouldn't
know
have
what,
had time to.
I have a story. My twin sister lives in Florida, and shout out Amanda. And she had to take her daughter to the hospital, and I'm like, wow, you're probably going to be there stuff for many hours because the hospitals are. She
Packed.
FaceTimes me. She's like, nobody's here.
It's empty. Yeah,
She's
the
actually
hospitals are
shout out to
empty.
Amanda because she's the one that kind of got me to like open my eyes. I was a
Oh,
very
let's go. Shout
dumb
out to
like
Amanda.
I was very like I remember the first time, and I'll give you a quick story. In 2019, what really made me go down the rabbit hole was my sister was always a Trump supporter. And I'm like, what is this? Like, why are you voting for him? And I
Right,
remember one
right,
day, I'm like, I'm going to look at both administrations and see what they have to offer. And I remember Googling the Biden administration. It was an easy find on Google. But when I went to search the Trump administration, I had to type out the whole thing. It didn't predict it for me. I'm
right.
like,
Of
that's
course, of
weird.
course.
So then I found his website on the fourth page, 10 down. So I called my sister and I'm like, hey, why couldn't I find his page? He goes, oh, that's
Right.
called censorship. And that's
Yeah,
what
of
I'm like,
course.
I
Yeah,
went
yeah,
down the
yeah,
rabbit
yeah,
hole.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just a quick
Yeah, of
story, but
course.
shout
Yeah.
out to
No,
my
no,
sister
no.
because she goes to the
Facts.
hospital,
Yeah.
nobody's there. And I'm like, she's like, nobody's here. This is
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
exactly. No, it's true. And so like they lied about everything, and it's like once you see how big those lies are, look at the body bags, and then a body bag's moving, like a leg is moving. You're like, bro, like come on. And then it's like then that ends up being like fake news and censored on Instagram or whatever, or fact check to be, you know, it's just like when they fact check it, we started to be like, that's true. If you fact
That's
check it,
true.
it's true.
Talk about psyops. I don't know. A lot of people don't remember this, but I remember because I thought it was diabolical. But do you remember CNN? They had like the ticker of how many people were dying in real time.
Yes, yeah, bro.
Oh, like
Insane.
imagine believing that and seeing that, like, oh my God, 230,000
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
231,000. That's the psyop
Insane.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
No, no, yeah. And it's just one after another at this point. Like they're like, they're like chipping away, trying to see. And it's like, because those of us that are awake, nothing works anymore. You know what I mean? Like nothing
I literally
works. Like
question everything.
yeah,
Everything.
exactly. Yeah, and that's like that's where we're at. That's where we graduated to, and you know, it takes time, but and it takes hard conversations, and it takes a lot of sleepless nights. It takes a lot of like, am I crazy? Like I've had those moments
Again.
so many times. I'm like, am I? Yeah, I'm like, am I tripping or like am I or is this real? Like, you know, but that's, you know, then you have to search, and then you finally it resonates and you're like, no, I'm not crazy. This is true, you know.
And
So
I know you have to go because you've got
I
you
do
got
have
things
to go in
going
a little
on.
bit. Yeah.
So I will ask you one question. I know it's
Okay.
kind of a stupid question, but is
No, it's
there
okay.
an ounce of you that you feel a little vindicated with
What do
being
you mean?
called crazy, being called like, where's your tin?
To be honest, so here's the
It's not
thing.
about that. I know it's not about that. But
Yeah.
like there's some people in my life that made it very difficult that I'm like, oh, I kind of told you so.
Yeah. No, for me, I'm just kind of like, I'm like very communicative. I'm very about community, friends, family, and all that.
Hmm.
But I'm also like, I'm hard when it comes to being like, this is what I believe. If you're not with that, I don't care if you believe me or
Mm,
not. I don't care if you don't want to be my friend or not. I don't care because eventually, like in the last like few months, some people have come back, yo, man, my bad. And I'm like, no, it's cool. And they'll follow me back, friends from like back
mm.
in the day. And like, they probably expect me to follow them back, but I'm like, nah, bro, like I
Guys,
don't.
here's the thing, guys, and I'm sure Scotty could agree. Here's the thing: we don't want to be right about these things.
No, of
We don't want.
100%. I don't want to be right, and if I and what I'm telling you, don't believe me. Go look it up for yourself because reading it with your own eyes, it resonates way more. It's gonna hit way harder, and you're gonna actually take it for truth more than just like Scotty told me. Scotty told me. Like, no, don't believe me. Go look it up,
Yeah,
please. Yeah, and I pray that I'm wrong about everything, but the conspiracy theorists are 10 for 10 at this point for like the last
10 for 10.
7 years.
I would say more than that. So
Right? Yeah.
I will let you go so because I know you got
Okay.
someone out. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
after. If you want to give all your pages where to follow you, I know where to
Yeah.
follow you, Big Tell me.
Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, Scotty the Kid. If you guys want to pick up my book, I have Truth Seeker t-shirts, which she's wearing right now, and I have the God Over Government t-shirts. I got these. I just actually put these on my site. I'll send you one. I just got these like cool little WWJD bracelets. What would
I'm gonna need
Jesus
one of
do?
those.
Yeah, some just like some chills,
A little
some
something, something. Yeah.
yeah, a little some. I got digital versions of the book. I have like bundle deals, and I will be in Tucson, Arizona on May 22nd doing a Q&A in person
Word.
at Live the Dream Media Studios in Tucson, Arizona. So if you guys are there, come pick up a book. It's a Q&A, and then I'm doing a signing. So
Are there tickets
yeah.
for that or
No, it's gonna be free entry. Free
word?
entry. Yeah.
So
If you
then
want to
send me the
support,
details. I'll put it in the
I got you.
description because I'm gonna do a bunch
Sick.
of little shorts and stuff. So we'll
Perfect.
do that, guys. You already know it's my little podcast that I
March
do from here
7th.
at home. March 7th. Now, is it okay if people want to get information to start a march in their area? Hit you up.
DM
How
me
to
right now. DM me right now.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna put it up
DM
real
me.
quick back so people can see how the
Perfect.
flyer
Yeah,
looks. It's not a flyer, but you guys
totally.
know what I
Yeah,
mean.
I feel you. Yeah.
So that way people who are motivated can see that this
Yep.
is what we're trying to get done.
Hmm.
And if you're in the area, guys, if you're in the area of any of these that are ready, scheduled to take place, show up, man.
Yeah, show up, show out. It's gonna be a great community
We
of
got
people,
Vegas,
like the best
Sacramento,
people.
Grand Rapids, Palm Springs. This is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Austin, Orlando. Yeah,
We
it's
got a
going
lot of
down.
places.
Oh yeah,
Boise,
Boise.
Huntington Beach.
And Orem, Utah was where Charlie Kirk was actually murdered. So that's gonna be
Oh,
a
this
big
is it right
one.
here. All
Yep,
right,
yep.
cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to let
So
everybody know that if you have any interest in starting something in your town, hit him up. He'll send you. I think he hit the nail on the head. The right way to do it is the legal way to do it. We want to be
yep,
respected for our fights. We don't want to be like
right.
we don't want to be known for causing disruptions, for lack of
Exactly,
a better
exactly.
statement.
Yep,
Scotty,
yep.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
I appreciate you.
Thank
My
you.
broski
Of
from the
course.
other
Much
side of the
love.
country. We'll talk soon, all
Let's
right?
go. Thank you. All
Cool,
right.
cool.
Bye.
All right. Later.
Peace.
Wars overseas while the pipes here rusting. Kids in the hood grow up not trusting. Nothing to see when the files go missing.